Okay, you got the Bolts versus the Silver and Black. Both of them are really banged up. Austin Eckler still got the high ankle sprain. He only worked out on the side with trainers, has taken no snaps whatsoever with the number one offense. He's still listed as limited as they go towards Sunday's game. Now to complicate it, Joey Bosa's not only dealing with a nagging hamstring, he's got a toe injury. On top of that, Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, has got a groin injury. On top of that, Eric Kendricks is still bothered by the hamstring. He was limited in workouts. At one point, the Chargers had 9 starters who either did not practice or were limited in practice on Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know how many of these guys are going to be able to get off that side field and get on the field to play Sunday at SoFi Stadium. Raiders' Jimmy Garoppolo got nailed in the head at the end of the Raiders game last Sunday in concussion protocol, finally cleared concussion, did full practice today, but they gave equal snaps to him and to Brian Hoyer, the 38-year-old journeyman backup.
38.
So this is a big issue. The Chargers are coming off the phenomenal Justin Herbert throwing show in Minnesota. They're averaging 416 yards per game on offense, which is pretty impressive. Not impressive. That defense is giving up 450 yards per game.
Ooh.
They are 31st in total defense. They are 32nd in pass defense. And defense was stapled to the front of Brandon Staley's resume. They've given up 7 touchdown passes through the air in 3 weeks so far. Raiders aren't much better. Raiders are struggling on offense, 287 yards per game. Raiders on defense, giving up 347. Outside of Max Crosby and maybe Marcus Peters, I just don't think the Raiders have very many players on the defensive side of the football. Well, here's a gaudy statistic. Third down defense, Raiders allowing the enemy to convert 46% of the third down plays. And opposing quarterbacks, 74% completion rate against the Silver and Bleak defense.
Unbelievable.
Just absolutely amazing. Garoppolo's thrown 6 interceptions so far this season. They think he's going to start Sunday. The mystery is Josh Jacobs, because of this long holdout. He's averaging 2.8 yards per carry. They have no running game at this point. Now, they're playing against a battered Charger defense. Maybe they just run the bleeping ball so they can keep Justin Herbert off the field. And maybe Josh Jacobs finds himself. Raiders, Devontae Adams, 13 yards per catch. I mean, he had 13 catches this past weekend. He's got no help around him at all. So Raiders are dysfunctional, and we're dealing with a lot of bad defense from both of these teams. That's one big game. Miami, Buffalo. Holy cow. You ever seatbelt on that chair? I don't want you to fall over. This is going to be something. Dolphins, number 1 offense in the solar system. 550 yards per game, Miami's offense, because they had 726 when they destroyed Denver last weekend. But this is Buffalo, and Buffalo is known for a couple different things. Genesee beer, heavy snow, and punching-them-out defense. Buffalo Bills are giving up only 253 yards per game.
Wow.
So you got Tua and all that offense against Buffalo's tough guy defense. Tua, 1,024 yards passing in 3 weeks, 8 touchdowns, only 1 sack. Dude's got a 122 quarterback rating. Wow. That's in another galaxy, 122. Tyreek Hill, 16 yards per catch. Jalen Waddle, 20 yards per catch. Now, the Bills aren't shabby. They got Josh Allen, and they're averaging 383 yards per game. And like I say, that defense, they're giving up just 253. Defense has got 12 sacks, 9 takeaways. And if you were trying to run a play on third down, they only allow conversion 31%.
Oh, that's better than the Raiders.
Oh, you think? So, yeah, there's no doubt. So, Miami, Buffalo, holy cow. Is it Sunday yet? Can we just fast forward ahead? The other interesting game is the Browns and the Ravens. You got Lamar Jackson against the number 1 defense in the National Football League. And Lamar's got 800 yards in all-purpose yards, run and throw in the first 3 weeks of the season. He's had to do more than I think they want him to do because they're really nicked up at wide receiver again, and the running game has not taken off. So you got Lamar does everything on offense. Cleveland's defense, 163 yards a game.
Oh my God.
Jim Schwartz, he's got those guys.
That's amazing.
Rolling. And on third down conversion, 19%.
Oh man.
I mean, that you don't never see those type of statistics. And opponent quarterbacks, only 48% completion, and running backs are averaging under 3 yards per carry against Cleveland. So the summary is the guys wearing the orange helmets, their defense is going to go after that quarterback who's wearing purple. That's going to, what do they call that? Immovable object, and what's that phrase?
It's like inertia, right? Like
Yeah.
the definition of inertia, a movable object will only move unless it's acted on by an outside force.
Yeah,
Is that what you're going for?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But so that's what this Cleveland Baltimore game is going to be. Those are the top games on the NFL schedule come this weekend. Your response?
Well, the Charger Raider games are always entertaining, right? And this is going to be in LA, and there's going to be just a ton of Raider Nation that's going to be there. You can count on that.
They say 68% of the tickets have gone to Raider fans.
Really?
Charger fans are selling their ducats to the Silver and Blue.
Well, just like they did when they were in San Diego,
Exactly.
too, because, they didn't want to have to deal with the riffraff of Raider Nation. But, that this game is going to be closer than we expect, that the Chargers are either going to, A, figure out a way to blow it, or B, they're going to figure out a way to make mistakes either by the coach or the players to make it closer than it should be. So I don't know what the point spread is here, but I would be taking the Raiders and the points all the way on this.
Well, I think that Justin Herbert's going to go crazy against a really bad Raider defense.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad. But the flip side is keep Justin Herbert off the field, and you run Josh Jacobs till he passes out, and then you have Garoppolo just hit some plays to Devontae Adams, then the Raiders maybe stay in this game as long as Justin Herbert is on the sidelines next to Brandon Staley rather than at the line of scrimmage getting ready to throw touchdown passes.
Yeah.
That's going to be the fascinating makeup there. And so what do you think about Buffalo-Miami, huh?
Well, that game's in Buffalo, right?
Yes.
So Tua's lucky he's not going to Buffalo in December, right? Number one. But that's going to be a great matchup. I mean, you were talking about how they redid the offense with the Dolphins and had those timing patterns. So he go 1, 2, 3, boom, and had all of his guys on routes and everyone knew where they were supposed to be. That's interesting to me that they've been able to make that work so well and so efficiently. So it'll be a big test going into Buffalo, but I still root for Josh Allen because he's a Mountain West quarterback guy, and he's, in my opinion, a huge success story considering where he came from in high school and how he got recruited in college. So I still have a soft spot for the Bills. I'd love to see them do well, but this is going to be a great game.
Phenomenal Buffalo pass rush, 12 sacks already. That doesn't include pressures and hits. They're going to get in the face of Tua. Now, Tua's been running the shotgun. Ball's out of there so doggone quick.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wears you out because the tempo that they play at. So I think the burning question is, can that Bills pass rush get to that Dolphins quarterback? Or does the Dolphins quarterback get the ball out there so quick, he just wears out the Bills defense because they can't get to him? Interesting there.
Okay,
and
we're
then
gonna find out.
And then obviously the third game is Cleveland, Baltimore. Boy, that's going to be a war. But then everything in the AFC North is a war.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's just a tough, brutal division. But Lamar got paid. Lamar got his receivers. So this will be, really the test. Are the Ravens where they need to be? If they can defeat the Browns and that defense, then you could say, okay, these guys are legit, because you were calling the Ravens to win that division in an upset over the Bengals.
But we're 3 weeks into the season. Odell Beckham Jr. is already out with an ankle.
Okay.
Issues. Okay, we go from NFL football